A man that has self-respect, for one, self-respect, has confidence. Alpha male, he stands on his word.
Mm-hmm.
If he says he's gonna do something, he does it, or he tries to do it to the best of his ability. And just a man with his own mind. You know what I mean? Like like the car said, you gotta be a leader in your own right. It's a lot of things that you know you're gonna lead yourself. You're just gonna be true to yourself, and you're not gonna let anybody sway you off of that. Pretty much.
All right, and you, Dakar?
I feel the same way. I mean, like even Tony Montana said, he said you only got one thing in this world, two things in real: your word and your balls.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that being, if you're a man, a real man, people can count on you, right? Your children, other people around you in your community, they come to you and look for you for advice. That's a real man. A man is a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that people know that they can depend on.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a real man.
Okay. So, DoRohn, I'm gonna start with you. Tell me about your journey into becoming the high value man that you are today. So, tell me about that journey.
Okay.
You said you didn't start off that way, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, how long
man.
have you been in your journey, and go from there?
Man, I've been in my bag, man, for a couple of years now, man. I'm gonna say, man, the past, 5-6 years or so, man.
So
I kind of started waking up.
Who were you before you started your journey?
Actually, who I was, to be real with you, man, I was a what do you call it's right on the tip of my tongue, bro. Pause. It's
What you say? Beta? What you say? What would you say?
I was a son husband.
Okay, explain. What do you mean
There
by
you
that?
go.
Yeah, man, I was a son husband, man. I grew up, unfortunately, with the stereotypical single parent household. Grew up with my mom, only. Very positive woman. Very very good mom, man.
Mm-hmm.
And she instilled a lot of good values in me, as a good person. I just missed out on a lot of the things, the male values, you know what I mean? The male perspective. And what can happen with that, me being how I was, you know what I mean? A younger black male, intelligent dude, like a taller, bigger dude in stature. My mom, she kind of looked at me for a lot of things, a man would do, around the house. You know what I mean? And the older I got, it seems like some of the responsibilities, became more and more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's an awkward situation to be in. A lot of young men, which I found out, later on, they can find themselves in similar situations. You know what I mean? So, I grow up to be a young man, and I have my mom, depending on me for this and that, and just certain things that kind of like, if she had a man,
Mm-hmm.
it would be like, that would be like, some of his duties or whatnot. So, I kind of started off like that. And it's a lot of little things that, we talk about, in the man world, kind of like locker room talk, certain things we was taught, by our moms that kind of like, made us a little bit soft, I would say. Made us a little bit kind of cater, to women, just from being raised only just having that female perspective. You know what I mean?
Would you say, being that you grew up with a single mother and so forth, and you kind of took a lot of orders from a woman, would you say as you grew up that stuck with you?
Yeah.
You became more of a listener to women?
I mean, in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, Not in all aspects, but yeah, bro. I mean, so
I mean, because when you sit there and say I'm a son, husband, that makes sense. You know, you felt like, yeah, you have your woman, but you felt like you were the child to your woman. You
right.
know what I mean? So, what
Well,
broke you? What broke you out of that per se?
man, what actually broke me out of that, man, is hanging out with more men. You know, surrounding myself with more men, you know, that I, you know, looked up to, or, you know, that kind of had more going on than me, kind of had their own thing going, and, you know, some of them had their own families, you know what I mean? Some of them out here, you know, just grinding in the corporate world, getting it. That was one thing. Also, man, books, man, just reading.
Books like what?
It's several books, man. You know what I mean, that I can definitely recommend to you. A good one is one of them that you read that I'm actually currently reading right now
Is
is
it The Way of the Superior
Way of the
Man?
Superior Man. That's a pretty good one. Also, Rollo Tomasi's The Rational Male. That's a pretty good one as well. You know what I mean? I kind of got into the books, man. You know, you come up in the game, and it's like in the male perspective, like, you know, when you young and you growing up, it's like the men, we trying to find our way.
Right.
It's like we young, we don't really have no skills, we don't really have no money, you know, and then we come out of high school and then we see like all the chicks, you know, they having fun, they turning up, they in college, they doing this, they doing that, they taking little trips. And you know what I mean? So, you know, me coming up, man, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like lost, you know what I mean? I'm grinding, I'm working my little jobs, you know, but all I really got, like, as far as like interaction with women, is like from mostly of what my mama taught. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, well, that's the only thing I'm going off of. So, you know, I kind of had to get a lot of little experiences, you know what I mean, with women, with relationships, bump my head a little bit, you know, for me to see like, well, damn, you know, I got to a certain point. It was like, well, damn, you know what I mean? I can see if I had a dad, some shit would be better, because he can kind of tell me like, hey, you know,
This
bro,
ain't the way to go. What were some major things that you seen that were wrong with you that you had to change to put yourself in that alpha male status?
That's a good question, bro. I mean,
I mean,
it
I
was
know
a
it
few
started with
things.
self,
I mean,
right?
of course, it was definitely the mindset. I mean, it's a totally different paradigm, and, you know, a way of thinking. But more so, man, it was you know, believing in self, man. You know, believing in yourself, knowing that you the leader. I mean, it's kind of like, it's really broad. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me to tell you, it's a lot of small things, because like being alpha, the thing what I realize is, if you are a beta, if it's betas out here, they still got alpha inside of them. It's deeply embedded inside of them. You know what I mean? They just really got to tap into it
To bring it out.
and unlock, you know, certain things, you know what I mean? And be willing to say, hey, you know what I mean? I made mistakes, or, you know, I fucked up, or I'm not right, and be willing to work on certain things. Some of the alpha characteristics I already had, you know what I mean? It was just really like some of the main, just little things here and there, man, that I kind of had to tweak, that I learned, you know, through experience. And like I say, you know, through the education, bro, you know what I mean? I got a couple of mentors too, you know what I mean? A few mentors, you know.
I mean, all these things sound to be important. Like I said, reading up on books, hanging around more masculine energy, even taking on mentors. That sounds like all things that help you progress and transition to be where you are today. Same question to you, man. What were you before you took on your journey? You know what I mean? What would you say you were? Like, explain yourself.
Before I actually got my journey, I was soft, man. I was beta. It's the same.
Yeah.
I was raised by a woman,
Mm-hmm.
right? There was no father present. I had 3 other siblings. Everything I learned about how to be a man, I learned from my older sister,
Mm-hmm.
right? Tie my shoe, I remember it was her. Ride my bike, I remember it was her. Just get on some skates, it was my sister,
Mm-hmm.
right? When I got through in the deep end, my sister pushed me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I learned most of my masculine traits from my masculine sister. So it prepared me for a world of just treat the woman right, pedestalize the woman. And that's how I lived my life. And going through my marriage I had, I would say I did that also. Pedestalize the woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess being around more masculine men and listening to more men who are tired of being used, because that's what men are, just being used for the resources at this point. All these foodie dates that people want to go out on. Women don't even like you. They just want to go out to get the resources you have.
Mm.
With that being said, I mean, coming from a woman, I was always taught how to treat a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Right? My mama tell me you got to open doors for women. You know, you got to pull out the red carpet and make them feel good, do all this.
How they want to be treated,
Exactly.
right?
But those same women never were taught how to treat a man.
Mm.
Those little girls are never taught, hey, you have to treat a man this way. You have to bring value to a relationship. You have to do something also other than look pretty. And I mean, I understood that as a young male, just like you guys understood that. In any Disney story or any movie, you see a coming of man, and what does the man do? The man is nothing, and he becomes something to get the girl, right?
Right.
But there are no movies that are coming of womanhood, right? Because a woman is born innately with her initial value.
Mm.
A woman is pretty. This is her initial value, right? Men are born with nothing. They have to create their value,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't get a woman to look at you if you don't got a nice haircut, if you don't got nice glasses, a nice outfit on, right? You can't get any of that. You have to become someone that women adore or want. Women innately have that. They come prepackaged and ready to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to do anything for their value.
Mm-hmm.
Me growing up as a young boy, which I had 3 brothers, I had 2 other brothers and a sister, but everything I learned was from a woman, and everything I got from a woman's perspective. So that led me on a road to understand that I have to be more. And I looked into guys that I seen who were in very masculine positions to see where I should be. And I longed to be a father.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 20, I had my first kid. And then I had a little girl, and I had to learn and understand that she won't understand this world unless I teach it to her. She won't understand how bad men are unless I show her. What turned me from a beta to on my road to be an alpha male was taking care of my children. Seeing them and looking in their eyes and understanding what they go through and how they understand the world. I knew at that point I had to be a better me for everybody around me.
Mm-hmm.
This is why everybody can come to me and give me and ask me for advice or, hey, what should I do about this? And I always have an answer. I've been there, done it in most situations. But coming from a strong woman raising me, right? Even though that was not the perfect situation I was in, she helped me get to where I was at now.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to where I was at off being around masculine men.
So what was the first thing that you changed once you seen the light, per se?
Basically, the people I kept around me.
Okay.
Right? You can't be around billionaires if you were someone that's homeless.
Mm-hmm.
This shit just don't work out that way, right?
Right.
You got to make your circle small enough so everybody brings some kind of value to the circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I started learning that people were just there using me,
Mm-hmm.
this is what made me change who I was around, right? That was the first thing I did. I started eliminating people that was only using me for my resources. Then I started to build upon who I am as a person. The predominant thing is credit. I
Okay.
start working on my credit first.
Okay.
Right.
Now, why is credit so important?
Credit is important because in this world, cash is not king unless you buying some bullshit that ain't worth nothing.
Okay.
Right? You need credit as a backbone for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how much money you got under your mattress, because if your house burned down, you lose all of it.
Mm-hmm.
You need credit as a staple in this life. That when I started to want something that was more than the shit that I can afford that's in my pocket, then I understood credit mean everything.
Mm.
That was the first step to going toward and being a high value person.
Mm-hmm.
All right. After that, it was not accepting things that were lower than me or beneath me. Right?
Okay.
This, for example, let's say if you're making $20 an hour, you're making $20 an hour at this job. You don't go to the next job and make $18.50.
Right.
You got better. Okay. If you worked that job for 3 days, 3 years, or 3 months, you got better in that time. So you shouldn't be asking for the same amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in life works that way. You have to upgrade. You have to elevate.
Mm-hmm.
That's what got me further.
Hmm.
Knowing that I had to do more and I had to be better than last time, that's what pushed me forward.
Okay. So I have a young Miss D. Prater. She asked, how was that so? When she asked that question, it was pertaining to, you said pretty much women were born with their value. Is there any way you can break that down a little bit more to help women understand what you mean by they were born with their value?
Okay, so women are born with their value by saying this. Women come pre-packaged as far as their first initial or innate value is from what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? An ugly woman has a harder time in life.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody understands that.
Mm-hmm.
A pretty woman gets pushed through life easily. So women know that their initial value comes from what they look like. A man can look ugly as hell. You got dudes like Seal. He's ugly as shit. You got Lil Wayne. Come on, man. He's not the picture of beauty. But he has become something that everyone wants.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
His image does not matter because he has become a high value person that women adore.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So men and women are not the same in that aspect. For women, their main aspect for them in life is how good they look.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So if a woman looks good, she definitely can get further in life.
You're right.
She can sell pictures online. She can do, the OF. She can do all kind of stuff. But an ugly woman won't be afforded the same amenities.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So that's why I say women come prepackaged. Once you become 18, you worth $1 million. Every man you take under your wing as a woman, and let him alter your body, you losing $100,000 each time.
What do you mean? Okay. So what do you mean by that? So other words, a certain type of man can lower your value as a woman.
That's facts.
Okay.
I mean, okay, it's an unwritten rule or unspoken thing. It's like when you go in the urinal, right? You don't park next to the man next to you, right?
Right.
You leave a space.
You leave a space in between.
Right? So it's the same for women. Women body count matter.
Okay.
Okay? Men won't say it to women because they won't want to be ostracized. Or they say little dick energy or this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, men care about that. You don't want to get nothing with no roast beef energy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We've all been there where you want to throw a hot dog down the hallway because the woman is used and abused. Right? You got the you got pencils getting sharpened over here. And you got pens that won't dull out. Okay. Anytime a woman's being used, her innate value is being lowered.
And that makes sense because most women, they don't want sons, they want men. So I guess she sees that he could hurt her as well. Like she sees that he doesn't have any value. That's why she doesn't want a son. She wants a man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that makes sense. I got a quote for you. You tell me what it means to you. He who defines himself doesn't know who he is. Now, what does that mean to y'all?
He who defines himself?
He who defines himself does not know who he is.
I guess you putting everything in totality. If you're saying that at your age that you know everything about yourself, you really don't know anything. It's like the wise man. The wise man knows he knows nothing. That man knows everything. Right? So it's just that perspective for me.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all how I took it. The way I took it is because I seen this quote play out in person. It was a young man, and he was in this story, and you know he had the camera on him, and what he did was he had some name brand glasses on. You know what I mean? So he kind of looked to the side. He wanted the camera to see the name brand that was on his glasses. So where I took it was you're using that name brand to define who you are as a man. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I took it. You know what I mean? So
is it divine or define?
Define.
With an F.
Define. Okay, yeah.
That's how I took it. He took that brand to define who he was as a man. You know what I'm saying? Does brand bring value to us as men?
There you go. You got this one.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Definitely. The answer is no at the end. I mean, a brand is. I mean, it's only valuable to the people that knows about it. Like,
right.
You know, but your actual value is something totally different.
I mean, but as men, we're always. One of you had said earlier that if you don't have that fresh cut, she's probably not going to look your way.
Well, that goes back to, like, you know, what you were saying. Like, you know, a lot of the power in the world, man, is in having a vagina. You know, I mean, pretty much. You know, us as men, we understand. You know, we can be up, we could be on Wall Street, and the next day we can be sleeping in the park. You know what I mean? Homeless. You know, kind of like what your viewer had commented. You know, the value with women is basically, you know, in that vagina. It's not even necessarily how they look, like how he was saying.
Pussy is power.
It's just the power's in the vagina. Women know if I can't get it done, somebody else is gonna get it done. You know what I'm saying? And we know. Ain't nobody else gonna get it done besides us. Nobody's gonna really feel bad for us. Reason why 90%, 95% of homeless people are men. You know, it's a big reason for that. Because women pretty much know.
They know nobody gonna come save them. Bro.
Somebody's gonna save them, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Most women, somebody's gonna save them. If they can't get something done in life, if they're a failure, somebody else will come do it. And the reason why is because they have some type of value. And that value, in the end, is in the vagina, bro.
Okay. So Arby had said something. He said, if you need to be told you're an alpha male, most likely you're insecure about something. Just my opinion. I've always been the man of my house, but my queen is what makes it run. I couldn't do a lot of things without her. What's y'all's thought?
No one's saying that you can't have a woman next to you. This is perfectly fine. As a man, you should always have women around you, period. No one needs to be told that they're alpha male, right? Everybody around you should know, right? It's what they whispered when Debo walked away, right? It's the same thing. Everybody should say it in their head, but no one has to physically say it to you, right? You should know. You exude it. And when you walk away, do people follow you, right? When you talk, do people listen? This is how you know. You don't need to have no one tell you. You should know from the things that you do.
I actually think that it's a good sign if someone does tell you.
Okay.
You know, kind of like the old saying, you know, if you're good at something, you will brag about yourself. You know, but if you're great at something, then somebody else will brag about you. So if someone randomly, you know, that you know or may not even know that well, you know, comes to you and tells you, hey, you're an alpha male, I do think that that's a good sign. I mean, I think that, you know, that means that it means something, you know, at the end of the day. Do you have to get it? No. But if you are what you are, if you are alpha, then other people will see it. I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan doesn't have to say, well, hey, I'm great at basketball, or I had an amazing career. He has a lot of people telling him that off top. Hey, bro, you're the greatest. He doesn't really have to say it. So, you know what I mean? That's my view on it. You know what I mean? If someone's not gonna really call you something that you're not.
Right, right.
You know, at the end of the day.
I mean, come on, man. I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, who needs positive affirmation? I'm not a woman. Women need positive affirmation. I don't need somebody telling me something for me to feel a certain way or me to understand that I'm a certain way. Why do I need somebody to say that? I don't care what people think. If you give me a compliment or you tell me I'm fat, I don't give a fuck. Either way.
Mm-hmm.
Why do a man need positive affirmation to say, hey, you the king of the jungle. You a lion. You should already know. And you shouldn't give a fuck what nobody think, good or bad. Fuck them. Why do you even give a fuck? Women need positive affirmation. Women need to know they beautiful and they look nice. Women ask you about if they look fat in this dress. Men don't ask about that shit. Men shouldn't even give a fuck. Why do you even care what people say? Fuck them. Don't nobody stand the game but you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I said. I said that you shouldn't necessarily need it, but it's a good sign. It's definitely not a bad thing if somebody tells you.
Right.
If somebody comes up to you and just say, "Hey, Dakar, bro, I just wanted to just let you know, bro. You know what I'm saying? You an alpha, bro. You know what I mean?" Is that negative to you?
At the end of the day, why do you give a fuck if they telling you something good or bad? It shouldn't even matter.
But I mean, I'm just asking a question.
If a bitch tell you look good or she say you look ugly, do you give a fuck when she walk away?
Is it a negative thing to you?
Who cares?
So what are some? Okay, right. We had talked a little bit earlier about.
There we go.
We had talked a little bit earlier about credit. You know what I'm saying? As a man, it's your responsibility to get in your credit in a certain space in a certain area. What else? What are some other things that most high value men need?
You want to go first? I feel like I feel like most high value men need to have somewhere to fucking stay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a structure. You can't build a good foundation unless you have somewhere ironclad to stay.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that, you have to be the one that can walk in your house and kick everybody the fuck out like Martin did. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Martin went in that bitch and said, "Get the stepping." He said, "Everybody get the stepping." Even the bitch Gina had to go too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that in your house, then that's where you stay at. Okay? You cannot have a broken foundation. You cannot have a fucking car on 26s and driving back to a fucking apartment. This is insanity.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have nowhere that you can call your own. You can get evicted if you got fucking fleas.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You have to put yourself in a position where can nobody tell you no.
I like that. I like it.
And it's definitely a little bit more than that, man. You know, an alpha male, you know, needs to have experience. You know, experience in life, different situations, different clutch situations. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know those different kind of situations or whatever where, you know, people ask you, what would you do if this popped off? You know, them serious type shits, you know, where people kind of figure out what they made of, you know, so to speak, different experiences in your career, different experiences in your love life, romantically. You know, all of those things also, you know, makes alpha male besides just having his own place to stay. And also I would just say, hey man, like I keep saying, your own mind, man. Being a leader in your own right.
Okay. So Godlin says, if you don't need affirmation, why only date good looking women?
Who said that? I mean, the thing is, at the end of the
because
day,
you care what people think. Is he's saying that's why you're dating a good looking woman?
Exactly. What man wants to walk around with an ugly ass woman? Mm-hmm. What woman wants to walk around with a hideous man?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody judges from the cover, right? This is the reason you got your hair did, reason that he got his hair pulled up, the reason I got these glasses on. Everybody judges by the cover. The cover has to be okay first. If you badly scarred person with burns all over your face, you walk up to somebody and try to ask for their number, they're gonna reject you initially. This is how humans act. So you have to fix the cover first.
I feel you on that. So I want to ask y'all a question. How important is conflict resolution when it comes to men? Because a lot of men are quick to want to fight and quick to want to, you know what I'm saying, rah, rah, rah. But how important is conflict resolution when it comes to being a real man?
Isn't that conflict resolution? A fight is a conflict resolution. Sometimes it goes that way. The thing is, it's an unwritten rule. You know that any conversation me and you have, there's always a low level threat of violence that can ensue if you say something I don't like or if I say something you don't like, right? So fighting would be the resolution to our conflict of arguing, right?
Okay.
What's the problem with that? Men just seek a faster solution.
Well, in my opinion, I think a real man will be able to have, other words, a real man will be able to think. Thinking is the first things first. And he will be able to solve a conflict first with a simple conversation and resolution that way. And then if that doesn't work, then the warrior will come out. But he's not going to bring the warrior out first. He's always going to be the thinker first. So what's your thoughts on that? Or y'all's thoughts on that?
It always don't work that way, man.
It doesn't. But should he take that thinking route first before he goes into warrior mode?
You got two different type of people, man. Like they say, you got lovers and you got fighters, right? And you got calm temper people, you got ill mannered people. This guy is a calm guy. It's gonna take you a lot to get this guy going, right? You're gonna have to touch him. You know what I'm saying? For him to start punching you back. It's like that. But if me and you talk, you might have to just say some shit and just throw me off the edge. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is different. So you can't categorize everybody into conflict resolution the same.
But can you not get manipulated that way? So for instance, you are very good at getting under people's skin. You get what I'm saying? But see, if I allow you to get under my skin all the time, you control me. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I say maybe to be able to think is less likely you'll be able to be controlled. And that's why I don't per se agree with, first things. If I don't like what you got to say, I'm going into warrior mode first. I mean, you got to be able to think, because that's not always the resolution. That's not always the answer. You know what I mean?
No, that definitely don't make a man, an alpha male, like being in warrior mode. Like, one of the things about, like I say, experience, you know what I mean, in life, building and learning from these different experiences or whatever, you learn that you got to pick your battles, man.
There you go.
It's certain fights that you can see that's there. Like, hey, it could be a fight. Like, I can really make a big deal about this, and let's take it there. But is it worth it? What is it going to get me? Am I going to get further? Am I going to get closer to the goal? And I mean, and really in totality, it's few situations or whatever where it is really worth fighting. Like, they pick that battle. Okay.
I mean, when we look at that Will Smith scenario, we would say that was probably a beta move. Why? Because I personally think because he wasn't thinking.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying?
That was definitely a beta.
But that's what I'm
move.
saying.
Now I'm opposite. I feel like that was alpha.
Okay, why do you feel like that was an alpha move?
Okay, so now we can talk about it.
Okay.
Hey, real shit. You got to understand where he came from in his lane.
Okay.
You have to look at the whole picture. I don't know if you guys understand that Chris Rock been shitting on his wife for years.
Okay.
He been joking about her for years, throwing her on the table for years. This man thinking about his wife. You have to protect, provide, and provision for that woman. If that woman feels like she's scared in any way, you have to protect for her. Okay. It's the same as if you had a daughter. Okay. If you have a daughter, and a man sit here and say, "Oh, your daughter's ugly. Your daughter got a cleft chin." A grown man, what are you gonna do?
Protect, whatever.
Exactly.
But you can protect with words as well.
Well, let me ask you this, bro: Are you gonna protect and provision for a woman that publicly discredits you and disgrace you and makes you feel small, makes you feel like a little boy? You gonna take up for her?
Not at fucking all, bro. The thing is too, I don't respect that shit.
Is that alpha? Or is that beta, bro?
That's the most beta shit in the world, bro.
Okay, so
was
he making an alpha move or a beta move?
This guy is super beta all the way around, man. He was getting embarrassed before this, but I mean, he really made it worse when he did that.
Yeah, but see, you conflating his entire life and his entire relationship with that woman down to one single point when he slapped somebody. You conflating the entire thing.
She was the total reason why he slapped somebody.
She was 100% the reason.
All right.
But at the same time,
He was tired of the disrespect from her, and he took it out on my man's Chris Rock.
you don't know what happened at their crib, bro.
Ah,
You don't know what's happening at home.
now you sound like a woman.
Stop
You
it.
gonna go in there?
Hey,
You
no,
gonna
no.
go in there? You don't know. Now let's speculate. Now, okay.
Listen, man.
Now let's go to the what ifs and
Stop the
all
cap.
of this. The
No, no.
rah, bro.
You would if and too, because you don't know the answer.
Come on, bro.
You don't have the answers.
Okay. Well, I want to ask y'all this: you can't, especially in his situation, you can't allow your woman to make you lose your place. You know what I'm saying? So when that situation,
You always got to
you gotta
stay
ask this-
centered. You
Right.
always got to stay grounded as a man. You always got to be the backbone. My man went up there and he risked it all.
He did.
What did he get behind that? What did he get though, Darryl?
Listen, I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
He got nothing.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
He got a divorce.
Ain't no fucking way I'd have got up there and slapped nobody for no bitch at all.
Okay. So
My
this
wife, listen, my
this
wife
doesn't
wasn't.
sound like what you just said at
But
the beginning.
let me
though.
tell you about me. I'm talking about me.
Okay.
My wife wasn't in physical danger or harm at all. Motherfucker was just talking.
Neither was his.
Exactly. So I wouldn't have went up there and did the shit. Me personally, that shit was whack as hell, right? But he had to do something to make himself feel tough. And some niggas got to do shit like that to make themselves feel tough. This is why niggas don't fight no more. Niggas just shoot, boom.
And you that guy.
Because no, it ain't me. I scrap. I fight, and I had no problem with it. I'm not gonna sit here and pull out and shoot a nigga because I can fight. You see what I'm saying? That soft ass shit he did to Chris Rock was soft because he fighting a motherfucker that's 145 pounds, skinny bones. He would have never did that to a nigga that's The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, he would have never did that shit to a motherfucker.
So
like
was
that.
it an alpha move?
And he did
or-
it to a nigga
Wait,
who
'cause
cracked
now,
jokes
now it seems like you
for a
switching
living.
sides now. You said that was an alpha move.
He
Was it
switched
an
up.
alpha move or was it not an alpha move?
You see, it's a gray line, bro. Because
Okay.
he was there to protect his wife,
Okay.
even though there was no protection needed.
Needed. Okay.
Right? Also, he wanted to make a point to make motherfuckers shut the fuck up. And it just so happened he snapped on Chris Rock at that time because he wanted to show motherfuckers he wasn't playing. The thing is, everybody needs a sample, right? You could tell that kid 100 times, don't touch the stove. Don't touch the stove. When you see that fire, and the fucking kid gonna touch it anyway because he want to see. Sometimes you gotta let the motherfucker see that the stove is hot. And that's the only thing he did. He went up there and let everybody in the world know the motherfucking stove is hot.
And it ended in divorce.
He ain't divorced yet.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting divorced.
You talking about it? He ain't divorced at all.
That's
What
not
you
what's
talking
on the
about?
floor?
He not.
I mean,
he not
that
divorced.
could be a rumor. I don't know.
Keep it
I don't
they
think
was
that's
talking
true.
about
It's
the
a rumor.
tabloids were talking about divorce. He ain't divorced. He's still married. What are you talking
Okay.
about?
So I'm gonna ask you this: do you think that Jada is running him?
Of course, this nigga being led by a woman. This is the reason you do not let a woman lead in a relationship.
No, let's get deeper into that.
This
Now,
is
why
facts.
why should you not let your woman lead you in the relationship?
Because women cannot lead men. I was in the military 15 years, and I understand the best leaders were men. Men do not respect women because they're smart, they're smaller, they're not as strong, they can't do the same things. Women can't lead you in a relationship nowhere to the end of the relationship,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
A woman isn't going to waste her time on a man who can't protect, provision, and provide. Okay? You have to do your static value things as a man, and that puts you in a leadership position. If a woman leads you in a relationship, you like a shitbag. Motherfuckers gonna be talking behind your back the whole time. Oh, this bitch got control. She wear the pants. Why is it a stigma around that? Because the man is supposed to be a strong rock. Okay? If somebody break in the house, you don't expect the woman to fucking Wakanda it up with the bald head and the spear to go fight the battle. It's not gonna work like that. You have to be the leader. Women cannot lead men in a relationship, period. The thing is, women choose who have sex, men choose to have a relationship.
Okay.
It's
Well,
as simple as that.
so that's going on the lines of women choose who they have sex with and men choose who they marry.
That's facts.
That's facts. Okay.
So just think about this. All a woman in 20s, she's choosing who has sex. She's choosing who she wants to have sex with. She gets to pick. But when she's old, she don't get to pick who she's marrying. The men pick. Right? Once she done fucking all these dudes and getting her body count up, and she's done with the hot girl summer, she's going to be looking for somebody to take care of her. Okay? The statistics right now show that women are at a high estimate of being single right now.
Mm-hmm.
These are all cat moms.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the world. Look at the girls that's single moms. Look at the kids. Like he said, you got a son husband. All these kids out here son husbands.
Mm-hmm.
Look at most of the pictures on Facebook when you see the women taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You see the woman, you see the kids. You don't see no man.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
This is terrible.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, whose fault is that though? Is it our fault as men that we're not staying in the picture, or is it their fault?
It's not our fault. The thing is, what we did our part. A man's job is to attain the woman.
Mm-hmm.
A woman's job is to retain the man after said sex.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Okay.
And when the men leave after said sex, it's the woman's fault. A woman's job in this world is to retain the highest value man she can find.
Mm-hmm.
A man's job in this world is to attain women.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the things I think, like with that, it comes down to statistics too, because it's like when it comes to the family staying together, you know, we understand that 80% of women file for divorce.
Oh, so women, okay.
So when, you know, you have a functioning family with a 2-parent household, and if most of the women file for divorce, I mean, the father's taken out of the home naturally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I understand, like, that's one of the things that I understood too, you know, coming into, you know, being an alpha male is if you are out of the household, you're not a father. You are no longer a father anymore. A father has daily lessons that they have to teach their children.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not waking up to your kids, you're taken out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Kids basically raised in a single parent household, you know, and they just know they daddy type shit. So, you know, with that being said, if the women are leaving and breaking up the relationship, these homes, then I would say that contributes to majority of the reason why, man. Because they leaving. Now, a lot of the women is going to say, well, hey, you know, I just, you know, I've been disrespected, blah, blah, for whatever the reason. They breaking up. The women are a little less loyal, or they're a lot less loyal in the end than men are. So that tears up the family, the black family too, especially.
When women leave the relationship, everybody pays, man. Everybody pays the ultimate price. Right?
So does that mean that we don't have no value in it?
No one values men unless the men create
The value.
That's period. Right? Okay, so a rich man will give a broke woman a chance. A rich man to date a 19-year-old or 21-year-old from McDonald's. But a rich woman won't even look a broke man's way. If you got a woman making $200,000, $300,000 a year, the guy that's an electrical engineer that makes $65,000 a year, she don't even see him. He's invisible. And I hate when women say that, oh, this is misandry. Most of these women don't even know what misandry is. Misandry is misogyny is the hatred of women.
Misogyny.
I don't hate women. I love women. I'm heterosexual. You know what I'm saying? It's and a lot of women mess up the message a man will give because of how I said it. Why does it matter about how I said the message? It's about the message. It don't matter if I say 1 + 1 = 2 or 1 + 1 = fucking 2. It's the same message. Women get wrapped up in this thing, and I just don't understand. Listen to the message. Understand. I don't care about what people think they'll say about me because I'm not trying to fuck you. I'm not trying to do nothing for you. I don't need you in my life. You right? So I just try to tell people, give people the knowledge that it was going to help them go toward the future. There's no sense of me. I'm not trying to down nobody. I'm not trying to brag. I don't feel like I'm better than anyone. I just want everybody to understand the same way. There's no harsh feelings between it. I'm fine where I'm at.
Well, a lot of women are feeling that in this conversation that as men we're shifting accountability. So what does a man need to do to be accountable in the first place?
Men, we have been taking accountability, man, off rip. We've been taking accountability for day one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, AC, you've been around long enough to know that when shit don't work out, it's pretty much always the man's fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's always his fault. He did this, this, and this, or he didn't do this, this, and this, and that's why it didn't work out.
That's because she looks to him to lead, right?
Yeah, she's looking to him to lead, but when it doesn't work out, okay, when you get in a relationship, it takes two. But then when it doesn't work out, it's always his fault. Like, we got to see a flaw in that one.
Is
like,
that not the price we pay as being men? Because when you say men, leader is is tied to it. So is it heavy as the crown that
that's not the price we pay. That I don't feel like that's the price that we should pay. But I will say that we do take on a lot of unspoken burdens as men. But that shouldn't be the price that you know, we should pay. Things being unfair, basically. You know, so in the end, the blame is going to be put on us anyway. And like I said, okay, to be a little more specific, one of the things that I was taught, and I feel like a lot of young men is taught being raised in a single parent household is that a woman can do no wrong.
No wrong.
A woman can't be a bad person. She can't treat you bad. She can't fuck over you.
Facts.
She can't be a manipulator. She can't be a user. She's gonna be some sweet creature that's innocent, that's docile, that's just following your lead wherever you want to take it. You know, she's willing to go and totally comply, and then you fuck it up. That's how I was raised. You treat the women with respect, no matter what. No matter who they are, no matter how they acting. It's just all women deserve this because all women. It was almost like you know what I'm saying. They boo boo don't stink.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying.
Why do women get a pass on everything?
Yes,
Just
okay.
like you're saying.
So
Okay.
They get a pass on everything. If a
And
woman,
this-
go ahead. I'm sorry. If a woman right now accused you of sexually doing something to her, your name is now dragged through the mud. Your name is now
automatically
trash.
just because it said.
You go to jail, right? You go to trial, and she gets there, and she finds text of it didn't happen, right? Okay, you get acquitted. You off trial. Everything's done. Nothing happens to the woman. It's believe all women. She lied to you. She drug your name all through the mud. You went to court. You got arrested and everything. They found out she didn't lie. She lied on you. What happens to the woman at that point? Nothing.
Everything's done.
She doesn't go to jail.
You still have a
She doesn't
stain
have
on your name.
You have a stain on your name for life, and that's believe all women.
Why do you think that society something that you have said before, we live in an over feminized society. Why do you think that women are put on that pedestal?
Because, like I said, the value is in the vagina, bro. So women is gonna be put on that pedestal. Two things, man. This is two reasons why women are allowed to get away with this. The women are gonna understand their side because they're other women, and the men is gonna understand their side because they want to fuck them. So the victimhood, just them being a victim, is just gonna be allowed to play out
Because they're the weaker sex.
So it's like
with those specific two variables for sure. You know what I mean? So I mean, we've all ran across a woman that's been in a previous relationship, and then she has just spoke about totally just being a victim. They never, almost every woman that I deal with never takes responsibility for any wrongdoing that they've ever had.
Never.
With the ex.
Never.
Ever.
Ever.
It was just always, he was just totally bad. If you believe that, that's totally true, man, you are not too bright.
Not too bright.
right.
You gotta
Because
think
if
about
we
this.
dealt with women, we know that they fuck up too.
But you would never get one of them to admit when
and
they did
have
wrong.
they have wrongdoings. But as men, we just supposed to be better. We supposed to rise above it. We're not supposed to complain. We're not supposed to point the finger. And, you know, that's a part of one of the advantages that they have over us. You know, women win over men socially. They have an advantage over us socially. Just like my man said, the reason why we get haircuts and try to dress fly. Jay-Z said it in a song. The reason why we get haircuts and try to dress fly, the power of the PUSSY.
Yes, for sure. That's for sure. Let's get to some. I want to talk about some of these because some men are delusional. You know what I'm saying? I look at the man that think he runs the household, but in all actuality, he is running the household, but he's actually running it by fear.
Puppet.
You know, no, he's running it by fear though. There's so you can have a man who runs the household because he's respected over what he does. Then you have the man that runs the household out of fear. You know what I'm saying? He puts fear into his woman. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the man who runs his household by fear is the delusional man and the man that you can't respect. You know what I'm saying?
You got to go a little deeper into that though.
Okay.
What do you mean by fear? Because
I mean, maybe he beat his woman before. Maybe fear. I'm saying he runs it by fear. Or let's just say she's scared to lose him. He's using it as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, against that woman. Some men, I feel like those type of men are delusional.
Are you not supposed to do that?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't think so. I think you should only run it off of your value, off of what you provide, what you can do, your value, point blank. Your value should gain all that respect from that woman.
Do you agree that fear and respect go hand in hand?
Do I think fear and respect go hand in hand? I think no, I don't.
So do you think?
I think fear will get you killed.
Do you think fear? You think somebody can respect you and not fear you?
Do I think somebody can respect me and not fear me? Yes.
How?
Yes, very much so.
Fear and respect go hand in hand.
I disagree with that.
You cannot have one without the other, and I'm gonna explain to you why.
Okay.
Anybody you respect is for a reason. Okay, they gave you a reason
to respect them. Right.
Okay. So fear of losing something that they gave you is why you respect them. If a lion walked in this room right now, he didn't ask you for shit.
Right.
But you gonna respect the fact
I'm gonna respect
it's a big
that
fucking lion
because but that's because I'm afraid.
You respect him. You respect
only
his
because
power.
I'm afraid though. His power, yeah.
Look what you just said. Only because you're afraid. Fear.
But I don't think that's.
Listen
but
to
when
what
it
you
comes
just
to
said.
humans, I don't think that's a good route. I don't think that will get you killed.
Listen, sir. When you in your house, you don't think that your son fear you. You don't think your daughter fear you. You don't think that they know that you're powerful, more powerful than them. They know that.
They know that.
That's fear.
It is.
The part where they respect you is they know they won't try to do anything to deviate from you having the most power in the house. They're not going to try to challenge you physically.
I will much rather. I don't like that though. I would much rather my kids respect me because of what I provide for them, what I do, where I sit down and have that conversation, logical, conversation with. I would much rather them respect me than have any type of fear to me.
You can't have
fear
one,
of me.
You can't have one without the other. The reason that reason that your child fears you because you can lay that law down on their ass. You can lay the smack down on them, and you can give them a whooping that they don't want. That's the fear.
That is one tool.
That they have to give you, and you have to run your house like that. Anywhere,
but you can't. That doesn't work the same with your spouse, though.
Do you respect that? Do you respect your boss?
Yeah, I respect my.
Why?
Because of the fear of getting fired.
Exactly. So fear and respect.
But that's his fault, though. To be honest, but to me, let me tell you something.
When you go around him, are you scared? Are you scared of him?
No, I'm not scared.
No, but you fear that he can
he can fire me. Correct.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna tell you what though. But I'm gonna tell you. But this is another reason why I don't agree. Cause I tell you what, because of that fear, because it's a fear thing, let me get rich and become a billionaire. The first thing I'm gonna try to do is outbuy you out of your own goddamn business. Now, if you would have gained my respect in other means, I would never do that to you.
Look what you just did to me, AC.
What do you mean?
Made me fear and respect you because you have more money and you can buy me out of shit that I want So
no,
now
but only
I
reason why I'm
respect you
doing
because
that, but that's why I don't want to rule by fear. You will get cut under your legs because you run by fear. That's why I would cut the boss under his legs because he ruling by
you live in
fear.
America. Everybody runs by fear. The reason that we're a superpower right now is because everybody else fears us. Because we have nuclear weapons
Okay.
that will fucking destroy them.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Well, the reason everybody respects the United States of America is because of the fear they have of being fucking eradicated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Fear and respect go hand in hand. You have to run your house like that. You cannot live in a house where your children run over you and they don't think they're gonna get their ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts.
Mm-hmm.
The fear comes that they might get their ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It has to work. It's perfect. This is the reason that the woman call you, hey, your daddy gonna beat your ass. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Your daddy gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
It was fear and respect.
It
Okay?
was.
It has to work.
But that was back then. When we look at it today, I'm gonna think about this. Do you give your kids as much ass whoopings as you used to get back in the day? I guarantee it's not.
No.
But there's a reason for that because we realized ruling by fear was not the way.
That's false.
There you go.
You are who you are now because you took them ass whoopings.
Okay.
Did you take ass whoopings?
Yes,
Yeah.
we took
Okay.
them ass whoopings.
Did it not work?
But why are we not using that same tool today then?
Because
we're
these-
not.
these
Because we
kids
realize
are-
there's a different way of going about
Because
it.
these kids are softer now. They've been doing that for what, 40, 50 years?
Yeah, the
In
kids
United
calling the
States of
peoples
America?
on you now, man. You know.
The kids are all CPS on their own phone. They
fucked up,
They
man.
go
You be
online
like,
and put in the whole
man,
CPS
this-
report on you now.
This little nigga done called the boys on me.
I'll be happy. Call them. I'm going to beat your ass till they get here. I'm going to beat your ass until they pull up to the door. I'm going to beat your ass and Jesse Jeffy right out the front door. Appreciate you.
Well, I'm gonna say
Man,
this.
I disagree, man. I don't think, man, that fear and respect,
Go hand in hand.
go hand in hand. I mean,
don't think
they
so?
can intersect,
They can.
but you can definitely get respect, man, in different ways besides the fearful route. Man, a person can get your respect, man, just by being loyal to you. You know what I mean?
That's
And
another
that has
example.
nothing to do with fear or anything like that, man. And really, man, you can have more respect for a person that's loyal to you, man, than a
Yes.
person that you fear.
Yes.
For real at the end, And I just believe, man, that it's just more than one way, man, to get your respect just besides, the fear route, man.
I agree with that. I agree. I feel like that's why most people who are feared end up getting stabbed in the back.
I mean,
Because
there's gonna
of
be
that reason
somebody
like
that's not scared
The
of
thing
you.
is, everybody has that fear of something. It doesn't have to be actually scared, but wanting not to have something is fear in itself. If I'm able to take away something from you that you have, that is a comfortable fear, right? It's not like you scared of me. It's just like you don't want to lose something. So it's a emotion that you exuberate from that, right? Why wouldn't fear go hand in hand? Any powerful man, you only respect him because of what he could do. That what he could do factor is fear. There's no other way to put it. He could do this to me, or he could do that, which is the reason that you respect him. You don't respect somebody for no reason innately. Anybody that you respect is because you put them up in a higher pedestal for one simple reason, because they can take away something that you like.
You can respect people for, good, positive things or negative things, man. They're gonna do something negative to you. You can respect it, man. They're gonna do something positive for you. You can respect it, right?
I mean, it's just different levels to it. You know what I'm saying? You could be afraid of all the positive things, losing all the positive things that someone brings to you.
I'm gonna respect. I'm gonna respect Mike Tyson for some reasons, and
Fear.
I'm gonna respect Joe Biden for some reasons.
Fear.
You know,
He the
but
president.
you know what I mean.
Duffy.
But it's different.
Yeah, it's a different level of respect,
It's
but
different.
it's still respect there.
It's definitely respect. And it's gonna be the same amount of respect. It's gonna be like, hey.
So what's a big misconception that most women have of men?
That man care about them. That man, just because a man wants to have sex with you, does not mean he care about you.
I think they understand that.
No, women do not.
They understand the hit it and quit it.
You ever talk to a woman when she say, "Oh, I got a bunch of niggas in my DM. I got 1,000 niggas in my messages."
Yes, I've heard
because
that.
this bitch. Listen, And women think,
Yeah, we got to lay off the B word now.
So, okay, it doesn't matter what I call women. It doesn't matter, man. I'm just expressing myself. If people getting fucking triggered off a word, man, get offline because the word is online.
He know he ain't never seen no podcast where they just call them bitches like that. He know he ain't never watched one like that.
All of them. I speak my East Side. I can say what I want. Say what I want, man. I'm gonna just be me. Is that okay? Is that okay?
You can be you. We don't want to lose the. We want the women to be able to intake what it is we have to say. So we don't want to turn them off. Other words, we want them to. Do we not want them to take in what we have to say and listen?
Women call you a nigga all day. You don't say nothing. You just accept it. These niggas ain't this. These niggas ain't that. Is that what your name is?
No, definitely.
But you don't say nothing to them. You allow it.
Okay, hold on.
All right then.
Hold on now. Whose fault is that though? If you allow it.
Well, it's everybody.
I'm saying that goes on to that man. If you don't like her calling you a nigga, then you need to go ahead and step up and say something. Then.
Why complain about a double standard that don't benefit me?
How will it ever change?
If a woman call me a nigga and say these niggas ain't shit, these niggas ain't, I don't say nothing. It's a benefit for a woman only if you say bitch and she gets triggered. Like,
I'm not calling you a bitch. They call each other that all the time. I
exactly,
that.
And it's perfectly okay when they do it, right? But the double standard is a man can't say the same shit. Like, come on, man, get out of here. I don't even know you, right? I'm just saying that because I'm just saying a word to express my feelings on what a woman is. And I might not be talking about you. I'm just talking about somebody.
Well, man, bro, I don't know. I just feel like if you don't want to be called something, then it's your job as a man to make that known. This is not what I want to be called. You know what I'm saying?
Where these rules as a man always
bro,
come from? Why woman don't have nothing as a woman?
The N word we've been hearing all our life. But I'm going to tell you this, though, man. I think, man, the biggest misconception that women got with men, like dealing with us, is thinking that they man not going to cheat. I think that gotta
say that
be
one more time.
That's facts.
Thinking that they man is not going to cheat.
Okay.
And expecting him not to cheat, man. I mean, that has to be the biggest misconception because when it comes down to it, all the experiences that I've had with women came down to that. Like when it comes to their past, it comes down to the motherfucker that they was with was fucking somebody else. They was fucking some little piece of pussy that they wasn't supposed to. Or any.
Understand, man. It's crazy.
And it's one of those things that I'm not really happy to say because it's kind of hard for me to say, okay, well, how can women combat this? You know what I'm saying? But I do think, honestly, just brutally honestly, I think that's the biggest misconception that women got with men is that if they get with a man, he's not going to have sex with another woman.
Okay. Now this is something I bring up, often about how as men we were put on this earth per se to breed. You know what I'm saying? So when you sit there and talk about the misconception of what are you saying that a man can't be loyal, or are you saying that all women go into a relationship thinking he's going to cheat? What are you saying when you say that?
Well, I'm saying that it's biologically like I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but as men, we're biologically just made to just want to have sex, to want to have a lot of it, to want to have different partners. So like we got testosterone dominant, you know what I mean? The majority of our hormones is testosterone in our body. Women also, they have a certain amount of testosterone as well. Testosterone is what fuels your libido. Okay. In any human. Even the women, they have testosterone too. And that's what fuels that and drives their libido. So as men, we have 17 times the testosterone that a woman has in our body, in her body. So naturally, are we going to be thinking about sex more often than women? Of course. Because we are biologically made to want to have sex so much more often. And then on top of that, women, they have a lot of, physical assets. They got breasts, they have a shape, they got butt, thighs we like, and they show it off. You know what I mean? It's not like, as men, we out here walking around or whatever with our genitals out, you know what I mean? Like they got a pair of jeans that just have your junk just out. just showing it off to all the ladies. But ladies, they got all the low cut tops. That does something to us. So I mean, at the end, it's a biological thing, man, that I think a lot of men have a hard time overcoming.
Do you think that's a flaw within our genetics? You know what I'm saying? The I don't want to say the lack of loyalty.
Nah.
Because, loyalty is looked at differently between men and women. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's a flaw in our genetics, man. I think it's a more so a flaw in our society, man. So it's like this. So, we're taught to, be in monogamous relationships, for the most part. Like I think like as men, especially as young men, like, like the men in their 20s, man, we have too much testosterone as it is, especially in your 20s, man. It's just too much testosterone raging. And I think that a lot of men in their 20s, they're encouraged to be in relationships. They're encouraged or whatever to get married, lock a woman down or whatever. And a lot of men in their 20s, man, they don't want to do that, man. It's like their bodies won't allow them to be monogamous because it's too much testosterone raging. They have a tendency to want to explore other options and all of this. And then any older man, will let you know that, as you get older, your testosterone will decrease. Then you're able to focus on other things in life, as well as just the women. You know what I mean? As a younger guy, you just focus on the women. You just focus on getting the box. You know what I mean? So I think that if we more so didn't put as much pressure, you know what I'm saying, on a lot of the young men to kind of like get in these relationships, lock them down. Also a lot of young men got a scarcity mindset too. They want to lock them down. But that contributes to a lot of infidelity, man.
Yeah. So at what age do you think men should actually start dating on a serious note?
In their 40s,
at least
35.
At least 30. Well, okay. I'm not even gonna say dating seriously. I'm gonna just say like just considering marriage. You know what I'm saying? Just put it like that, or something similar to a marriage. At least 30. But if you can wait to 35, that would be better. That would be best. 35 plus, I would suggest to all the young men out here, man, today, man, that's coming up in the game. They dating, they trying to figure things out.
That's the best. That's the best route to go when you're older. So in them younger stage, you should just get it all out of you.
Yeah, man, because that's what we want anyway. You know what I mean? We're told a certain thing in society. We look at these movies. Movies portray a certain image of what we supposed to do. And in the inside of us, deep down and inside, we don't really feel true to that. You know what I mean? We just like, hey, we just want to get some pussy. We just want to fuck these hoes. This one. Let's try it out. So.
Do you think that the over sexualization of women makes it hard on us as men?
For sure.
So, but then a woman could look at that and be like, well, that's just your lack of control.
Lack of control. See, that goes to the candy shop fallacy. Okay. So what women don't understand is when you 18 as a woman, you born with $1 million. You decide how you spend your $1 million. Everybody is like taking $50,000 out of your bank account and throw it in the fucking trash. Every kid is like $100,000 thrown in the trash. It's about the value you bring to the world as a woman for a relationship standpoint. Okay? If you're looking for a man, most young men who are single are not looking for a woman with kids. Right? So innately, you lower your value by having children who are from previous
Ooh, they can be mad at you for that one. All right, go ahead.
It's okay. They can be mad.
Go ahead.
But everybody makes their choice. Right? Just like men make their choice to or who they marry, women make choice of who they have sex with. So if you made a choice with a man who was bad, or was a drug dealer, or who's this, that, and the other. You knew that before you laid down with him.
Mm-hmm.
Or if not, you should have vetted properly.
Okay. I understand that. So, Guylin, can you put up that post, Guylin, man? The Kevin Samuels and Derek Jackson post for me real quick. Yeah, I seen this post and I thought it was interesting. I wanted to get y'all's opinion on this. Y'all may have already seen it, but I wanted y'all to see this.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Because it has, like I said, this has a picture of, like I said, Kevin Samuels, and it'll have a picture of Derek Jackson. Now, in this, it says, hold on one second, let me go to it. It's on the page. Hold on. It says, ladies, next time you ask why guys lie to women, look at Kevin Samuels and Derek Jackson for the answer. One told you the truth so you can improve yourself, and you hated him for it. The other lied to you and lived a double, triple life, and you loved him for it. Make it make sense. What is y'all thoughts on that?
Man, that's facts, man. That's facts. Like I said before, man, Uncle Kevin, man, he was spitting bars. He was just trying to tell women, hey, you have a finite amount of time to lock yourself down in a relationship that you can use for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Kevin was going into people's houses and forcing them to listen to his material.
Mm-hmm.
These women wanted answers. He gave them answers. Maybe he didn't give it to you in the best fashion,
or they thought they could show him out on his own show too.
Exactly. You're not gonna talk circles around a man who has a platform built around what he's speaking about. All these women came to his channel for advice.
Mm-hmm.
Take the advice and move on. He's helped so many people.
Mm-hmm.
He's brought a whole new culture to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He's allowed men to say things that they would never be able to say to a woman directly, because it would lose your chance for having sex with a woman in the future.
Okay.
He only explained to women where we're losing at.
Mm-hmm.
In this modern society with modern women,
Mm-hmm.
modern women are losing. Men aren't losing.
Mm-hmm.
Men are now not taking women on dates.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Chivalry is dead, and women killed it.
Okay.
It's as plain as that.
Mm-hmm.
Men want to be chivalrous. Men know from a young boy when he's playing with his little toys. He knows from that time right there, you have to be chivalrous to women.
Mm-hmm.
What is the opposite of being chivalry? What is the woman
being an
version of it?
asshole?
What is the woman version of chivalry? Right?
There is
Submissiveness.
Oh. Ooh,
Okay.
good one.
Submissiveness. But does a woman give that initially?
No. Women. There we go. Hold on. Women want. You have to earn their submissiveness always.
Why?
Always. I don't spoke on this. I kind of feel submissiveness should be given until he does something to change that. You know what I'm saying? It should be given off top. Just like we should be chivalrous or however.
Exactly.
Both should be given off top until the partner proves otherwise.
Chivalry is
But a
given
lot
off
of women
top.
don't feel that way. A lot of women feel like my submissiveness, they hold it hostage. My submissiveness is not going to be given to me until you can show me this, and this, and this, and this. Prove that to me first, then I will give you my submissiveness. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. And see, the thing is, why do I have to do all this stuff to show you that I like you when you won't even show me the same back in return?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
That's something I don't. Yeah.
As a woman, what are you doing to show me, hey, I like you too? So I have to be confident.
Mm-hmm.
I have to look good. I have to smell good.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be somebody that a woman wants to look at or want to be around, right? Even though at the end of the day, she's getting my protection.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting somebody who's willing to die for her.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who's willing to provision and provide for her. That's what she's getting from me, right? So what is the opposite of chivalry for a woman? He said
Submissive is what he said. Mm-hmm. But there is none. There is.
What
I
does
get
that
what you're
entail?
saying. There is none.
A woman can't show you submissiveness when she first meets you. How?
But should she? Is the question. No, I'm not gonna say when she first meets you. You know what I'm saying? But
I
I'm
mean,
just saying
I think they can. Is ways that a woman can.
Mm-hmm.
How can a woman
show
submit
you
if she don't even know you? If it's your first date, how does she submit to you? How?
What do you mean? I mean,
Well, I mean,
there's ways. There's ways.
she can submit to you, man. I mean, if you guys have an interaction, man, and I mean, if you totally in your alpha, man, and she's submissive, bro.
Mm-hmm. She can go get you. She can go make you a plate at the barbecue.
You're gonna
you met her at the barbecue.
You're gonna
like,
lead the interaction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty much. You're gonna lead the interaction, and she's not gonna try to stop you. You know, pretty much.
Yeah, I believe submissive. It may not be all of it, but they can show little traits of submissive. Like I said, she when she first met you at the party, it might be a barbecue. In my example, it's a barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Y'all having conversation. She be like, "Yo, have you ate yet? Let me go get you a plate real quick." Now she just met you. You know what I'm saying? But she's showing that off top. And that's something but that's also something, like I said, most women won't do. They don't want to show the submissive off top, but they expect that man to show his chivalry off top. And I think that's something that men and women need to talk about. Like, I think that we both should bring both to the table at the beginning.
Okay, so how does a woman show you on the first day?
Well, I just gave you an example. You know, she's looking out for your well-being.
On the first day?
On the first day.
Okay, so answer this question. Have you ever been on a date with a woman that you did not plan on having sex with? Ever?
That's always been
yes or no?
No.
You
No.
No one here has ever been on a date where you wasn't thinking about smashing.
Right. Correct.
But women take men out that they have no fucking idea, like have nothing that they wanted to do with this man other than get some free food. This is why men don't take women out no more. And the thing is, the good girls suffer. The good ones, the actual genuine women suffer because there's so many women out here want to live this hot girl summer, listen to Meg Thee Stallion, dumbass, and try to get around and get through life like that. But what a lot of women don't understand is when they hit the wall, what women don't understand, a 40-year-old woman is just as useless as an 18-year-old boy. Right?
Okay.
She can't provide kids the same as a 21-year-old woman could. And just like an 18-year-old boy, he ain't got the resources or time put in anything to bring any value to the world.
Or experience.
Or experience. Right? It's always an apex fallacy, too, when it comes to women. Women only see the top 10% of men. If you ask women what they want, you stand up 100 women in a row, heterosexual women, and ask them what they want. They want the tall dude. They want the light-skinned dude. They want the dude with all the bling. They want the dude with the muscles. They want the dude with the big car, right? Women don't see 90% of men. Those men who are the plumbers, the electricians, the people who pick up the garbage, those men that make good jobs, women don't even see them as a viable candidate. This is ridiculous. It's the apex fallacy. And then women say those top 10% of men, all men cheat. No. Just the men that you choose to fuck with cheat because they're the top 10%. What women got to understand at that point, you have to share a man of that value. Okay. If that man brings enough value where all your friends want to fuck him, why the fuck do you think that you are the one that he wants to fuck with only when he has choices? And
there's a saying. They're saying a man's, I guess, loyalty it goes as far as his choices.
Yeah, but the thing is, what women don't understand is, women have choices when a woman's candle burns brightest when she's between 18 and 27. Okay, because this is what men want. Women always say this thing where, oh, you only want a young girl so you can control her and you can tell her what to do. Only old women say stuff like that. Men choices and what they want out of women are always demonized. So women want a tall man, a strong man, a rich man. They want all this. So what if I said, you a dumb motherfucker, right? Because you want a man who's taller, smarter, stronger than you. You stupid. You see how we'll be demonizing what they want? But they demonize what we want. We want young, tight, beautiful women. It's as simple as that. But anytime what men want, all you hear in the background, oh, he's a cradle robber. He just wants this, that, and other. Why is what we want demonized? These women didn't answer that question. Why is what we want demonized, but what they want is totally fine?
Well, I think like one of the things that you spoke on since the beginning of time, like women is like older men, and men is like older women. You know,
younger women, men like younger women. You saying?
Men like younger women. women
like older men.
like older men.
Why is that? Nobody demonizes them for like older men, right?
Yeah, because they want a man. Because in their minds, that man is going to take care. He's
And
going to
provide.
lead. He's
And
going to
protect.
They
provide.
want a man that
And
knows what
lead
he's
them.
doing.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. They generally want a man that knows what he's doing, and then the man, you know, he wants some young sugar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty much. But I mean, I think what you talking about, Dukar, is like the top 10% of men.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The ones or whatever that's really, really getting it. The ones that all the women want. You know, for sure.
It's funny how that works, though.
I'm glad you said that, bro. You know how it is cold approaching women, right? You know how it is. And to being a man of your stature, you understand that even somebody who has your look, who has your build, and is your type, we strike out incredibly a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Women do not understand the plight of men. Women do not understand how hard it is to get sex from women.
Mm-hmm.
Women don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask a woman
Mm-hmm.
advice on how to get another woman, she can never tell you something that's going to intelligently get you some pussy. Never. This is why you never ask a fish how to fish.
Mm-hmm.
You ask a fisherman how to fish.
Mm-hmm.
Because a fish is only going to tell you, well, you just drop the line and I'll chase after it. It's always dumb fucking advice.
Mm-hmm.
You take advice to how to fish from a fisherman, not a fish.
Mm-hmm.
You never ask a woman how to get another woman because she only going to tell you from her way.
Mm-hmm.
A woman has never been a man attractive enough to get a woman. Right? She can never see how you get a woman through a man's eyes.
Yeah, they can tell you what they want, but they can't tell you what they desire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for real. Because what they desire is not necessarily, it doesn't really line up to what they really want to say, what they really want to portray. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And we can get a lot deeper into it, but
Okay. Well, you know,
surface level,
Mm-hmm.
they just what they want and what they desire is two different things.
All right.
What
I
they
want
respond
to ask
to.
you this last question real quick, guys. Because, you know, we've been on for a minute. We
love
done
this
pissed a lot of women off, as you
That's
see.
cool.
But
Let
check
them
me out.
be
Check me out. I had made a statement the other day. And y'all tell me how true this is. I said, as a man, you can never, ever. No, I'm not even gonna say never, ever. It can happen once or twice, but you can never let your woman out hustle you. You always have to out hustle your woman.
Oh, man.
How much do you agree with that?
You want to get it first? Because I would smash this one.
Go ahead.
Hey, listen, man. You got to pay the cost to be the boss. It's as simple as that. You can never let a woman outshine you in your own space.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2022. Women do not build. Women move in. Okay?
Okay.
You're not going to move into a woman's house as a man. You look less of a man. Okay? Anytime, like I told you, you got to be Martin in your house, man. You got to be able to kick everybody the fuck out, even your girlfriend. That's how you become a stable man on your own, too. If somebody can tell you get the fuck out of their house, you ain't the man of your castle. A woman, these women all can be queens if they want to be. But you can't be a queen unless you have a king.
Okay.
Okay? A king can make any woman his queen. A queen cannot make any man her king. You got to understand it. Look at the Queen of England. When she has a husband, it's just the queen's husband. He's not the new king. Okay? He's the queen's husband. With that being said, women move into castles built by kings. Okay? That's how it is.
So I had people disagree with me when I sit there and say you can't let your woman out hustle you, and then some people were like, nah, you know your woman, yes, your woman can out hustle you maybe once or twice, but when it gets to a point where your woman is consistently out hustling you, I think that the respect for her man goes away.
That's facts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that woman is looking to you to be the problem solver for the most part. And if she has to get into that position, your position, to make y'all stay afloat too many times, she's, like I said, she's still gonna love you. She might still be there, but the point is that respect that she has for you is gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying? And even when it comes to the conversation of can your woman make more money than the man, I look at that. You know what I'm saying? I think yes, a woman can make more money than her man, and it could still work. But as soon when I tell you, as soon as she gets rocky and gets bad, and she can't look to her man to get her out of that situation, everything's going to shit.
That's facts. That nigga spitting.
I think everything is going to shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, a woman cannot respect a man that she has to continue to save. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you gotta out hustle your woman. You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, man. Like not only just they don't respect a woman a man that they gotta save. It's like it can't even be equal either.
Yeah, I could see that too.
So like the whole 50-50 relationship. The whole if everything is equal. You know, it's really messed up. But if everything is equal, if you are the same height as your woman, you make the same amount of money. You know, just all things across the board just being equal, women feel like they're better. They feel like they got the upper. Women don't look at things as being equal. They only look at things as better or worse. So if you in a relationship with a woman and it's 50-50, everything is equal, she really feels like she's better than you, bro.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what the main propriety.
So it's like it goes an even step deeper than that. And you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say that it's a flaw that women have, you know, because I mean, as men, we don't complain. You know what I mean? We just overcome. That's just, it is what it is. That's one of the reasons why, you know what I mean? Like you say, hey man, you know, she can't really out hustle you because they don't look at things as being equal. You got to be better for sure.
Yeah. I think, like I said, if that woman keeps having to step it up, it's gonna become resentment. It's gonna become resentment at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely gonna be, like I said, you gotta out hustle her. You have to. It's just the end of the day.
You definitely gotta out hustle your woman. It's a simple fact that who's ever in charge of the financial situation has the most leverage, right? You need the most leverage as far as women don't spend their money on men like that, right? The bulk of the estate is going from the man's pocket to whatever is funding the lifestyle, right? Which is how it should be. Now, for me, I feel the same way. I feel like a woman shouldn't have to pay no bills in my house, right? I'm the king of my castle. I pay the bills, but if I need you to do something,
I feel the same way.
I don't want to hear nothing, right? I don't want my woman paying for nothing as far as the house. My woman needs to come home and be comfortable and not worry about anything or have any stressors when she comes to this house. All right? I want it to be a supreme comfortability when my woman lay her feet down on the carpet or walk to my bed, right? And all her problems are going to be outside the house, right? So I feel like a woman's financial ability to take care of the house doesn't even come into contest with me, right? I have to be making 50% or 75% more than the woman that's with me. And if I meet a woman who's making what I'm making, that's cool. That means I need to work harder as a man to be making at least 25 to 26% more than she's making.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have the lead. You can't take the lead in a relationship either, though. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you are in a relationship situation, marriage, whatever, with a woman that's making, you know, the same thing that you making, I mean, that's not really no big thing. It's just all about who is taking leadership, the leadership role in a relationship. I mean, obviously, a lot of women that's independent and they are successful in their careers or whatever, they have to put on some type of masculine hat to achieve that. You know, I mean, obviously, they have beat out some men, you know, to get to where they are in the professional world. You know what I mean? But as long as they understand and you understand as well that, you know, home life, they're going to take that masculine hat off. Now, whether you know, you the breadwinner or she's the breadwinner or is equal, if you guys can have an understanding that, hey, at the end of the day, you're going to have the last say. You are going to make the final decision. Not meaning that their opinion doesn't matter. Not meaning that they can't make any decisions or have any influence on the decisions. They just, as long as they understand that you are going to make the final decision. Can't be no final decisions made without you, then it can work.
Men lead, women follow. It's as simple.
But that's a big disconnect in today's time. You know, a lot of women, they have a hard time taking that masculine hat off when they come to the crib. You know, a lot of women has built their success. They've achieved it on their own.
I heard that.
Then they get a man. It's just like, well, hey, you know, this is how I've been doing it.
How important is having the respect of your woman? Is that not like the top?
That's the number one thing.
The number one thing.
The
Correct?
number one
bro.
thing, man, is respect, bro.
Monumental. If
Okay.
your woman don't respect you, she got to go, bro.
Let's recap one last time, just for the men that may not understand it, and maybe something for the women to take notes and look to. What makes the masculine man? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we've been talking about this, but it's been hit or miss. Like I said, I love what you said about credit. I think credit was a good one. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you have your credit in line. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you have your money right. You know what I mean? So that you can make things happen for her. You know what I'm saying? What else are some high things that everybody can understand? Let's not name something that, you know, we need to name things that everybody can understand.
I mean, what makes a masculine man? I mean, I got an example of this. It was a news story of this kid in Australia. I forget his name, man, but it was a kid in Australia, man. He was like a 16-year-old kid. His parents went out of town on the trip. He threw a big ass party. At his house, at his parents' house or whatever, man. And then like the party ended up doing like $10,000 of damage like to the neighborhood and like to the house. It was like a crazy party, man. And like it was a big thing. The news came out and like interviewed the kid, and they were trying to get him like to feel sorry and to like apologize about it. And this is like one of the things that I seen like in this kid. He was a young man or whatever. Now don't get it twisted. He was a little shit. And he was messing up. He wasn't really doing the right thing, but his attitude was so alpha about everything. It was as if he made a decision, and he made that decision to have the party. He stuck to his guns. He had fun, and he didn't really have a lot of remorse about it. He was on the news, and I remember it was this really pretty like newscaster. She was trying to make him feel bad about it, and she said, "Hey, you know, you should apologize. What's your words, you know, to the community, the public, and your parents?" And, you know, he was just like, hey, you know, it was a cool party. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking about throwing another one. You know what I mean?
So what you're saying is
she was trying to get him to take his glasses off. Oh, take those sunglasses off right now and apologize. And he was just like, well, you know, I'm straight. You know what I mean? I wore these glasses for a reason because I wanted to. And I'm not going to take them off just because you're asking me to take them off. Obviously, I threw this party. Yeah, it might have got a little bit out of hand, but this is what I decided to do. We had a blast. Everybody had fun. You know, I'm the man now. And what I'm saying overall at the end of this story, I'm not saying that the young man was right, but I'm saying his attitude.
He was confident.
I look at him as being like a alpha Buddha. You know, he was an alpha, and he didn't have to get taught how to be an alpha. You know, he kind of just grew up with it. It was inside of him. Like I say, I'm going to do whatever I want. Another prime example. The men in prison, the men in jail, jails and prisons are full of alpha males, bro.
Gotta be.
All of them are
Gotta
full
be.
of alpha males, bro. And it's just the difference in like an alpha male like them and an alpha male like, Dakar and myself is they chose paths that society frowns upon, and they chose to go down paths that's illegal.
Different outlet.
You know what I'm saying? But majority of those men that's in prison are alpha males. They made decisions. They're gonna do whatever they're gonna do, and they don't care who really thinks. You know what I'm saying?
So
bad
again,
about
that's the quality you think that we should have. We should be able
Absolutely.
to make a decision and stand on that decision and follow through with it.
Yes.
I heard you on that. All right, y'all. Yo, this was a great discussion, man. I know, like I said, y'all make sure y'all share, have the same discussion at home. And man, this was deep. this was definitely deep, man. Is there anything else that you guys want to put in there before we go?
What you think alpha male is?
What I think an alpha male
you
is?
asked us, but what do you think?
I think an alpha male, like I said, he's going to make his decisions and stand on them. I think that he's going to make sure he's tight. He's tight first because he has to be tight in order to lead the rest of everybody else. So I think, like I said, that's why I like so much about those little things those little gems you were putting in there. Also, I feel like an alpha male can also be a soldier. He can be versatile. He can do both. You know what I'm saying? He can listen and he can lead. You know what I'm saying? That he's not gonna know everything. He's not gonna act like he knows everything. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the qualities I feel an alpha male has.
But see, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying a man can't be the nurturer. Mm-hmm. Just like me and him, we both raised our daughters on our own. Mm-hmm. So we had to have some kind of sensibility at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying a masculine man has to be tough and hard and just stoic all the time. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is this is what you have to be known as. Men can't be conditionally masculine, right? Mm-hmm. You have to be masculine all the time. Mm-hmm. Women want to turn on when they want to be masculine and when they want to be feminine because they are allowed to have that. Mm-hmm. Women are allowed to have this princess fantasy.
When it's time to pay, it's time to be feminine.
Hey, exactly.
That's how they feel.
The thing is, a woman is always a boss babe until it's time to pay, right? And then if you allow her to pay, then you a weak man. Where's the double standard in that? How are you a boss babe, but you want me to pay, and if I don't pay, I'm a weak man? They don't want equality, man. They just want things that benefit them when it benefits them. And if it don't benefit them, hey, they want nothing to do with it.
Yes, yo, this is Ace Boogie. This is RadioActive Podcast. Peace.